So I've had a request from a Patreon member to give you an update on Fred and his wife, and I'm trying to think that I don't know that I don't remember if I did a public video on this or if it was just for Patreon. But Fred, the Indian guy I met back in 2019 April, we've become friends and stuff, and I've helped him with some things. My Patreon members have helped. A couple years ago we did a thing for winter time, and blankets, food, things that some of the people needed out there on his reservation, and it worked out good. But he had told me he'd moved to Douglas, Arizona, away from the reservation, a few years ago, and he mentioned to me that they were having some trouble with some, a couple people or something, one guy in particular, on the reservation. So he's like, we just wanted to get out of there and just try to lay low for a while, let things calm and then go back sometime later. But he said, doing the work he does as a, I don't even know what he considers himself, like a shaman or medicine man. I don't know. I don't even know if he calls himself, what he even calls himself, but he helps people get off the drugs, that kind of thing. And of course on the reservation, and not just the Navajo, but probably all of them, drugs, trafficking, all kinds of stuff happens. And so the drug guys don't really like him too much. And I think that was part of the big deal. So anyways, he tells me, so I'm trying to think of how long ago this was, several months ago, maybe longer, I don't know. He's like, yeah, we're going to move back. It's expensive living out here, and he's got a Hogan that he lives in on the reservation. There's no electric, he's got like small solar panels and things to like recharge batteries. He showed me pictures and things. Anyways, they went back, and soon after they got back, trouble starts. He calls me and he tells me that his wife went outside in the morning. It was when it was cold, so this had to be December, January, February, I bet, sometime around there. And he heard something, commotion or something. He went out there. The guys are attacking his wife, slicing his tires on his truck. I think it was one in particular, but there were several guys there, and they pushed his wife down. She got a couple of scrapes and bruises on her, maybe her head or face somewhere, in that vicinity. And Fred was out there trying to, protect his wife. So then those guys ran off. And the difference is, he told me, he said, well, this time is different because my wife got attacked. And by the way, they're fine. She left the same day of the hospital. Again, not major injuries. And he goes, my wife is technically white. He goes, so we have the option of using the reservation police system or the United States. He goes, and every time things in the past have happened, it didn't involve my wife. So that it was always had to be handled on the reservation, and it was always, hey, work things out, try to blah, blah, blah. He said nothing would ever get done. And he goes, this time, we have a choice because they attacked the wrong person. They got my wife. So they went, I think he said they were going to go for the federal government, U.S. government help to prosecute or whatever. And I'd have to ask them for an update right now, but there's like really one main culprit, and then they had some friends with them, and I think the main guy, they got him, and I think he got locked up. But they definitely got him. So the other guys, it was just, were they just there with him? I'm not real sure the whole story. But not too long ago, he called me and said, man, I've got some pretty good news, He goes, I'm an older man, and I'm considered an elder now. I got a letter in the mail from the tribal, I guess, council. I'm not sure who it comes from. And he goes, they've approved me, just told me, you're an elder, you're going to get basically housing, a real toilet, all this stuff. a manufactured home. They're gonna, they'll clear the land out, put that up. I think they're gonna provide electricity maybe out there. But he's getting hooked up just for being an elder. And so, after dealing with all that crap, he's finally got some good news, with that whole thing. And so that's cool. He's actually right now, he texted me this morning, he's heading to somewhere to do some ceremony. The other Indian group's paying for his travels to get up there, to do some kind, as he does his special ceremonies. And I think he's going to Canada next, tribe up there. And then he's coming back. So he's busy. He's getting around. But I just can't remember if I did this publicly or not, this video. I don't remember, because I told everybody initially what happened with him. But it might have been Patreon only. I just can't remember. It was, several months back. So it's not going to hurt for me to just put the video up, I guess, now, give you the backstory, and then tell you he's good. Everything's good. When I was in New Mexico, was it this trip? No. Yes, it was. He said, I'm going to make you a big teepee. I'm thinking big for me and a couple of people. I wasn't thinking he's making a teepee you could fit like 20 or 30 people in. He says, I'm going to need it in the future. So he wanted to get it all done for me now to have the pieces. So he got these special pine poles and got all this stuff, went up to Colorado, picked them up, put it all in his trailer, made a custom holding wood thing for him on his trailer. Like, brought it down, brought the whole teepee kit. And I'm like, okay, well, it's pretty amazing. So I've got this teepee kit that I'll be using in the future somewhere. And I'm just hoping one day, of course, if the universe has something different for me, that'll be that. But I'm still thinking, maybe one day I'll have some big ranch in New Mexico or somewhere around there. And that's where I'll bring it and leave it and, start doing some spiritual retreat stuff kind of thing out there, maybe once or twice a year. But it's not time yet. So anyways, that's the update. He's good. His wife's good. They're happy now. No problems with this other person. I think they're locked up. And now we just got to watch the show, the TV show of Trump and the deep state. Again, there's a freaking battle between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. Bread and circuses for the Roman sheep.